A possible new contract for a Spurs player, the Eze deal edges closer, and Thomas Frank's press conference ahead of Burnley. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, my name's Craig and welcome back to the channel, and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Like, share and comment below. And if you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. And if you do have a spare moment, please vote for the channel at the Football Content Awards 2025. All of the details are below. Let's get into it. TBR Football understands that Thomas Frank is pushing for Rodrigo Bentancur to be offered a new contract at Tottenham Hotspur. The Uruguayan's current deal is due to run until the summer of 2026, and the Danish head coach is keen for his future to be secured by Spurs. Bentancur has really impressed Spurs' new manager, and discussions over a new deal are likely to take place soon. Now, having had a chance to assess the former Juventus midfielder, Frank has made it clear to Spurs that he should be issued with a bumper new deal. Manchester City forward Savinho's agents have flown to London in a bid to secure his desired move to Tottenham, according to Mail Online. Savinho is believed to have opened the door to Spurs, who have promised him a key role in Frank's squad next season and can also offer him Champions League football. According to Mail Online, Frank is keen on bringing in multiple attacking reinforcements before the transfer deadline and has set his sights on signing both Savinho and Crystal Palace's Eberechi Eze. And on Eze, the Mail also report that no agreement as yet for Eze, but Tottenham are inching closer. While Team Talk report that Tottenham are confident they have put together a deal for Eberechi Eze that will satisfy Crystal Palace, who value the England midfielder at £68 million. According to reports, Eze's release clause expires today, Friday the 15th of August. And Thomas Frank has held his press conference pre the Burnley game and has given the following updates. Frank has confirmed that Yves Bissouma is available to face Burnley after disciplinary issues. Bissouma was dropped from the Tottenham squad for the UEFA Super Cup defeat to Paris Saint-Germain after repeatedly being late. Frank said there had to be a consequence for that, and Bissouma was therefore not involved in Udine, despite having initially been named in the travelling squad. Speaking ahead of his side's Premier League opener on Saturday, Frank said, "Bissouma was a situation. I addressed it. There was a consequence. He will be in the squad tomorrow. Of course, we dealt with the situation. These situations you deal with internally, of course, is dealt with. I'm looking forward. It's a big game tomorrow, and that's where the main focus should be." Bissouma has entered the final 12 months of his contract at the club, and his future remains uncertain. On team news, Frank stated every player who was available is available for the team. Destiny is progressing, but it's too early for him to be involved in the squad. On Matisse Tell, Frank said, "I think it's terrible what happened to Matisse. We're doing everything we can to support him in this situation. He's a strong person. He will have support from the family and friends as well. There's no real Tottenham supporter that would do that, the abuse. You'll see the real Tottenham supporters at the stadium tomorrow backing him. I expect big cheers for him tomorrow." Frank was also asked what he'd learned about his players. He replied, "One thing is the mentality of the group, very strong mentality, and we saw that against PSG, the way they worked and their approach to it. Also, the ability to take on messages and game plans." He was also asked if he'll be having butterflies before Saturday's game. He said, "I will have tomorrow. If I'm honest now, I'm in work mode. I know when I wake up tomorrow and when I step into the stadium, I will feel it." On Richarlison's performance against PSG, Frank stated, "Yeah, I think Richie was really phenomenal. His hold-up play, his intensity, his arriving in the box was top. And his attitude, top. Of course, we're aware of his fitness situation. That is why we've monitored him closely. That's why he didn't play at Reading in the first game, but he is on it." And Frank was also asked if he'll change things up against Burnley. He replied, of course, there were physical demands in every area. In particular, the heat was high. The players are very professional and they've recovered well. I can freshen up, whether that is from the start or during the game. I'm a big believer that it's the third game more than the second one that's important in that respect. Okay, well, here's my thoughts on all those stories today. Firstly, Rodrigo Bentancur and his possible new deal. Bentancur has been pretty good, I would say, in pre-season, and what I've seen of him seems very fit now and seems to be getting back to that Rodrigo Bentancur that we saw when he first came to Tottenham. It takes a long time to recover from ACL injuries and actually trust in the knee again. And we've seen Rodrigo Bentancur go through that. There's no doubt in the player's quality. And I, for one, want to see Bentancur stay at the club. So offering him a new deal, very similar to Jed Spence, obviously worked hard, impressed the manager, and he's got a new deal as well, don't forget. But to see Bentancur get a new deal, that would be really good. I did read that it could be till 2029 he's been offered it, but that's unconfirmed. But I think Bentancur, keeping him with this Spurs squad, I think he's going to be a big player for us this season, an important player in the midfield for Thomas Frank. Savinho, gone a bit quiet on this, but from all reports it's not fallen through. We're still in for Savinho, and his agents having flown to England in a bid to secure his move to Tottenham. Let's hope that can be done and dusted over the next few days. It seems like money wouldn't be an issue in personal terms as well, and Savinho, more importantly than anything, is keen, as far as we're aware, in coming to Tottenham and playing for Thomas Frank. So that would be brilliant if we can get him over the line, as well as the next one I'm going to talk about, which, of course, Eberechi Eze. No agreement as yet for Eze. Inching closer, as we've been told. Spurs are confident that they're going to get this deal done that will satisfy all parties. It doesn't seem, again, whether wages and personal issues are going to be an issue. And if we're right and this clause expires today, then you would think hopefully we'll get a bit more information later on Friday and into Saturday. But let's hope Spurs can certainly get a deal done in principle for the fee, and then that part's agreed. But it doesn't seem it should be that complicated now. At least everybody's around the table, as far as we know, to get the Eze deal over the line. Fingers crossed, eh? But your thoughts? How are you feeling about Eze? Would that really get you off your seat? It certainly would me. I think that would be one of the best signings we've made in many years. And of course, Savinho coming in as well. That front three, if we had Savinho, Kudus, or front four, shall I say, Savinho, Kudus, Eze and Solanke, and they're all fit and firing. That's a phenomenal front line. And the midfield with Paulinho coming in and Bentancur, we're looking good. Keep the players fit. We've got a pretty good team there, in my opinion. It's just, as we know, we've still got work to do with this squad and bringing in players that are going to improve this squad, because you saw the drop-off against PSG. It was all plain for everybody to see. We need to bring in more than just these two players. There's still work to do in this transfer window, but look, let's get these two in, and that will certainly whet the appetite. And Thomas Frank's press conference, all his responses were there, really good. Obviously, you would expect him to be sticking up for Matisse Tell, as I said yesterday. Disgusting abuse by Tell. No player should suffer that. And I just hope the crowd really get behind Matisse tomorrow, should he play. And even if he shouldn't, I think the crowd should be... I'm pretty sure, Spurs fan base, 99.9% of the Spurs fan base are brilliant. It's just that small minority, and I wouldn't even call them fans. So, yeah. Call it out if you hear it. Disgusting. But yeah, some good comments there from Thomas Frank. Bissouma back in the squad. Is he going to get any minutes? That's an interesting one with Bissouma. Obviously, I think it was good that Thomas Frank took action. He could have just took him. But it sets down a marker that you can't continually be late. And, we've had this before with Bissouma in being late, and he suffered the consequences. The fact that Bissouma wasn't there, did that cost us the match against PSG? I don't think it did. It would have been good to have him to bring on, but I don't think it cost us the game. So hopefully Bissouma will learn from that. All reports suggest that Bissouma could be heading out. We don't know. We'll see how that one goes. I think that's about it from me today, to be honest with you. Let's see how this Eze deal progresses, and the Savinho one as well. Hopefully Spurs will have some good news for us later today or over the weekend. Get down in the comments, let me know your thoughts. Can we sign both these players? Will we get one? Will we get none? Get down and let me know what you think about that situation. Any other transfers and places and positions in the team that you think we need to strengthen. Come on, you Spurs.